We were somewhere around Lestalem, on the edge of the desert, when the darkness began to take hold. Nightmarish figures were cavorting about everywhere, and a voice was screaming, "What the fuck is that?" over and over. "We can't stay here," Ignis said. "This is demon country." That brilliant, bespectacled bastard was right. Days had been growing shorter and shorter until the light vanished altogether. Demons stalk the highways, and there's an army of magic robots in the sky, exercising their authority with impunity and extreme prejudice. That's why we're on our way to the capital, to slay an evil, immortal wizard at the head of this mess before he can destroy the world. Believe it or not, this story started with a wedding. At least, the promise of one. Our friend Prince Noctis was finally tying the knot with Princess Lunafreya. Theirs was the kind of fairy tale romance only royalty can have. Childhood sweethearts separated by war for years, finally to be reunited so their marriage can seal a lasting peace between their two kingdoms. Their only communication with each other was handwritten letters sent by courier dog, even though they both have phones. It is beyond quaint. But before Noctis gets hitched, there's time for one last road trip with his best buds. Gladio, the freakishly photogenic Frankenstein with a sword as big as his heart.
Forgive me.
Ignis, a master tactician, both on the battlefield and in the kitchen. And Prompto, our faithful photographer, never passing up a shot, even in the middle of combat. We were going the long way to Altissia, taking in as much of the kingdom as we can see, stopping when adventure calls. Whenever we ran out of gas, we hunted local monsters in the countryside until we had enough cash to fill the tank again. We went shopping in the markets of Lestalem, where on a single stroll around the square you can buy a magic sword, a steak cut from a mythological beast, an elixir that cures every ailment known to man, and the best cup of noodles in the world. We ate at every greasy spoon along the highway, camped out under the stars, and met plenty of interesting people. Like this man, who manages to run a successful diner, despite never having any of the ingredients he needs. Or this scientist, collecting red frogs for an experiment. And then there was Cindy, a suspiciously attractive mechanic we met in Hammerhead. At first, I was sure she was a spy or assassin. Then we thought she was into the prince. But it turned out, she only had eyes for his car. You can hardly blame her. The Regalia is a marvelous machine, a hardtop convertible that transitions seamlessly and smoothly even while driving at top speed. It is a ride fit for a king, and Cindy always gives it the royal treatment. She'll be running that garage in no time at all. Where the prince's noble steed could not take us, we were carried on the backs of chocobos. Such contrary creatures. Big, noisy birds that are just adorable when they flap their little, flightless wings.
OMG. Most adorable bird ever.
I became very attached to a vibrant red bird called Choo Choo, and I knew the feeling was mutual. She would run in and try to rescue me from monsters 5 times her size. I love that silly taffy bird. When all this is over and we finally go home, I'll probably miss her the most. We were on our way to the wedding, when suddenly, the Imperial Army's airships appear overhead and start dumping millions of Magitech out of the sky. Just like that, the kingdom was conquered, and we were refugees in our own country. The Royal Guard in exile. Lucky we weren't at the capital when it fell, but Noctis doesn't feel that way. Poor, sweet bastard. A military invasion is a lousy way to break off an engagement, and he took it pretty hard. Decided, fuck everything, he was going fishing. And that's what we did. All discussion of hunting monsters or fighting the Empire brushed aside in favor of rumors about the best fishing holes.
I'll make it worth your while.
Weeks go by, and that's all he does. We travel across the country and back again to buy stronger line, a sturdier pole, a better reel, and enough lures to catch every fish in the Vesper pool twice. Anything to land a legendary catch.
Wow, you did good.
Then one day he finally put the tackle away, said he was done fishing. It was time to start kicking some Imperial ass. That's when things took a turn for the surreal. One crazy old man tells Noctis he needs to collect the ghosts of 13 legendary weapons to harness the power of his ancestors. An older, crazier man kept following us around, insisting that Noctis would need to fight the gods themselves to gain the power needed to vanquish the darkness. Just to be safe, we decide to do both. How hard could it be, right? After we blow up an Imperial military outpost, Gladio's little sister hooks us up with the local resistance movement. They help smuggle us across the sea to Altitia, the beautiful floating capital of Tenebrae. It's a shame our business there is so dire, so urgent. We barely had time to do any shopping and drinking. Noctis only caught a few fish in the harbor. He finally gets to see his long-lost beloved again, and Lunafreya immediately signs him up for a prize fight against a god. Shoves him into the arena without so much as a sorry we invaded your country. Of course I thought he was dead. Look at that thing. It has teeth bigger than him. But the prince survived by going full Super Saiyan on that serpent's ass. But it was a bittersweet victory. While Noctis was slapping around a god, the crazy old bastard that gave him the quest in the first place stabs Lunafreya for reasons beyond us all. You could tell Noctis just wanted to run off and go fishing again. But now that he had the royal ring that had apparently been our goal all along, we just needed to reach a magic crystal to charge it up with world-saving power before the demons ushered in a night without end. We cut through waves of robots and demons. It seemed like we were trapped in a hallway for a year, but that might have been the ketamine. I think a god helped us escape. There is a secret project manufacturing demon soldiers, and we fight through a parade of gods and monsters until we're sweating blood. Only to see our pal Noctis get eaten by a crystal. And then, I have no idea what happened. Did Noctis die? Did Arden? Did anybody come back to life? Uncertain. The gods did put on one hell of a light show. And we're still here, so I guess we saved the world. still utterly devastated by the demon rampage. But some humans were still alive to witness the return of the dawn. I suppose that's the best anyone can hope for in this crazy world. The promise of a new tomorrow. But for now, I just want to go fishing.